Welcome to Keiser Voices, the story of success, brought to you by Keiser University Graduate School, here where the academic world meets personal triumph. Join us today as we dive into the captivating tales of success.
Hello, my name is Damien Hunte. I am a school support officer for Keiser University Multidisciplinary Center here in South Florida. I am charged to mentor students throughout the state of Florida, nine counties to be exact, and I'm happy to be here. Yes, for those that don't know, I am a 8-year Army veteran. Had orders to be deployed to Iraq right after the 9/11 catastrophe took place. Some of the mental health issues or concerns that a lot of veterans face. Of course, a lot of people know of the more popular disorder, which is the PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Another one would be depression. A lot of veterans go through depression because of what they have to go through as far as, making that transition from being a soldier into being a civilian again. It's not easy. Another one would be suicide thoughts or suicide within itself. Research has shown that over 6,000 veterans die by suicide every single year. And so that is something that a lot of the prior two conditions feed into: the PTSD, the depression, and also another one would be, and probably not in the DSM-5, but guilt and survivor's remorse. A lot of veterans are feeling guilty because they made it out and their battle buddies, those are our fellow soldiers that we're on the battlefield with, did not. And so these are some common mental health issues that some veterans do have, and are, there's things that they're struggling with. My battle probably doesn't compare to a lot of other veterans that have gone through some very difficult things. But I feel that the biggest obstacle that I had to face was literally becoming a soldier from being a civilian for 19 years. I did 1 year of college football, and then I joined the Army. And the hardest thing is to realize that when the drill sergeants and you're going through trainings, they're not there to try to hurt you, but they do need you to understand that you're no longer just Joe Blow on the street. You are a soldier. You're fighting for your country. There is a real chance that you may die for fighting for your country. So that was one of the things that was the hardest thing that I had to sort of wrap my head around, feeling that, wow, this is a different world. I can't think like I was when I was coming out of high school into college. You have to grow up a lot faster. Another battle that I had, I should say, was just feeling like I didn't fit in. After being in the military, and I was a reservist, so I wasn't fully fledged in it. But when it's time for war, those monikers leave. And one of the things that I remember feeling after being done completely after my 8 years was just literally feeling like I didn't fit in. People didn't understand my jargon. They didn't understand me. They didn't understand, what I had to go through. They didn't understand that being in the military is very mission driven. So when you don't have a mission to go and achieve and to conquer, there's some emptiness inside of you. And so not being able to fit in was a major mental hurdle that I had to cross. And lastly was once I got married, I was still in the reserves, and realizing that, in the military, there's not a lot of compromise. And of course, being married, that is the very foundation of your relationship. And so realizing that, having to be able to communicate with my wife and understand that she's not a mission, she's a person, that took a lot out of me, because it was things that I said and it would hurt her feelings. And I never understood, why are your feelings hurt? It's just the way that I speak. So to bring that military life into my relationship, whether it's my personal relationship or my professional relationship, it took a lot of practice. It took a lot of humbleness. It took a lot of conversations to be had in order for me to sort of right the ship and do the right things. So those things are very difficult for a lot of veterans, to make sure that they are in the right place, having, saying the right things in the right frame of mind, acting a certain way, because you're not necessarily acting the same way you did when you were in the military, in your BDUs, as they used to call them, which are your battle dress uniform, the camouflage outfit a lot of people see. Those are the types of things that a lot of people don't take in consideration when being a veteran. I think one of, there are plenty of stigmas. One of the stigmas are that when a veteran is going through a mental health crisis, that they're typically the most dangerous people. And to be honest with you, a lot of veterans are actually suffering in silence. They don't want to react. They don't want to see, want people to see them as, this deranged, or this person that, that has gone off on the deep end, because the truth of the matter is that is not always the case. Another stigma is that you have to load some veterans with a lot of narcotic drugs or a lot of prescription drugs, and that is also not the case. Now, I'm not knocking those that may need some, prescribed assistance. I'm talking about those where the first thing people think is that, oh yeah, just throw this particular set of prescription at this person and it will calm them down. Not necessarily. Sometimes a veteran just needs someone to talk to, which leads to another stigma. Again, I went into the military into the late 90s. So the very fact of going to go speak to a therapist or a counselor was sort of taboo. You were sort of seen as weak if you were to go seek help. And the biggest stigma of those that are in the military, or those that were in the military, or those that have family members or friends, is that you're considered weak if you go see somebody, seek some professional help. And that is not the case. As a matter of fact, you have solidified a foundation of making sure that you're being heard. In the military, they always had this saying that never let your enemies see you sweat. Well, I understand that component, but in actuality, not everybody is out there to get you. There are people that literally want to help you, but you also have to open up to do so. So those are just a few of the stigmas that veterans have to take on or are subjected to when they're going through any type of mental health crisis or disorders of what have you. Absolutely. One of the things that has helped me in trying to cope or trying to jump over certain mental hurdles, first of all, is speaking to someone. It is so imperative that we speak to counselors, therapists. In my case, it was my pastor at church, maybe other soldiers that have gone through things. Speak to someone. That helps so much. Prayer, journaling, having positive affirmations written down within close proximity, whether it's in your vehicle, whether it's in your phone, whether it's on on your bathroom mirror, whether it's on the refrigerator door, just being able to see, positivity, and thinking positive, listening to positive things. Those are some of my coping mechanisms. Being able to share my feelings with my spouse, with my family, with my church members. I'm a big proponent of my belief system, and so my faith was imperative in making sure that I did not crumble under the pressures of mental health. Making sure that we all understand that we're here for someone. Also going, going to certain programs. They have certain group, therapy groups. Those help as well. NAMI. These are, I believe that's the National Alliance of Mental Illness. So you want to make sure that you're going to go seek those help. Go to your local VA. They have, psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors that are there. They're hired legitimately just to hear your story. So if you're suffering from, substance abuse or alcoholism or depression or stress, you can go speak to someone. And like I said before, journaling, keeping a pad, or even if you have a phone or a recording device, literally, unfiltering your deepest thoughts by literally just saying it out of your mouth, getting it out of your system, so you're not bogged down with so much negativity and so much negative energy. You're able to get information out, release some of that toxicity that's going on in your head and in your mind or through your emotions, and you're able to cope with those particular things. Those are just a few of coping strategies that I have seen used. I have used myself, and I can tell you I am better for it. But you matter. And my name is Damien Hunte, and I want to let you know, my brother, my sister, that may be seeing this, that may have, someone that's going to send this to you later, or maybe someone and you're going to send this to someone else. Let them know, and I'm letting you know that you matter. Your experiences are your experiences, and they count. And I will not be the one that that literally disregard what you're feeling and what you're going through. So seek that professional help. Speak to other people that has your best interest at hand. Speak to those people that want to see you do above and beyond what you are here for. It is fine to have potential, and your potential are wide and vast, but your purpose is who you are when your potential sometimes seems fleeting. You're designed to be a person of purpose. You're designed for a reason. You're here. As long as you are above ground, that means you have a second chance, a third chance, 100th chance at getting it right, at getting some help, at getting to the next level, at the level that you want to be in. All you have to do is seek the help. Pray, meditate. These are all things that you're able to do. Speak to a family member, speak to another soldier. Go where you're wanted, go where you're needed, because someone is going to be healed based upon your testimony, based upon your message. So make sure you understand that when you share, it's not just because you need a release. That is important, but your release will actually help someone else heal. Sometimes people's pain heal other people's pain. You're strong enough to go through this. They may not be. So share often, and share honestly. And I can't promise that it's going to be a one-day parade. I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy on day 3, but I'm telling you, the more that you chip away at that mountain, the more you're going to make it on the other side. So as a veteran, one of the things I would always struggle with is when someone comes up to me and says, thank you for your service. I never have a response for that. And the reason why I never really had a response for that is because sometimes I would never know if they really meant it or if that was just jargon. And as a society, I feel that we don't do enough for our veterans. We have veterans staying under bridges, on the street. There are politicians, there are millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires that have so many resources. And we feel that not standing up for the national anthem is disrespectful. Well, what is also just as disrespectful is not taking care of those that have fought for this country. So as a society, it's great to have Veterans Day. That's awesome. It's great to have 10, 15, 20, 30% off of your food or your goods. That's beautiful. But I'd much rather be able to see a veteran that's dealing with some type of mental health issue and they actually receive the help that they need. It is fine for us to talk to those that did not go through what we went through, whether that's basic training or the battlefield or just in your trade, whatever your MOS is, whatever your job was in the military. But we also need patience from those that are around us, from our communities. You cannot spell community without unity. And who brings upon the unity and that's able to take advantage of all the things that we love here in the United States? It's a soldier that literally gave their life to make sure you're able to enjoy the freedoms that you have. So as a society, we need to be patient. We need to be loving. We need to be respectful. And yet we need to also be responsible and accountable for our actions. Listen to a veteran and listen to what they have to go through. Make sure you understand that when you say thank you for your service, it's not just thank you for your service, it's thank you for your sacrifice. I lost a couple of my soldier buddies in war. And there's not too many times I don't think about the ultimate sacrifice they made for me. I wasn't in the same area as they were. But nonetheless, that doesn't stop them from their families feeling it. Because one of those soldiers, she left a baby. Another one of those soldiers left a whole entire family, wife and kids. So it's not just enough to say thank you for your service, but realize that there has been a sacrifice. And the moment that we take care of our veterans, young and old, then we will be not just a communal entity, we'll be a community, just like the word is. We can commune with one another and we can unite to make sure that we're taking care of each other. The biggest disregard that we have is that we don't love one another the way we're supposed to.
Thank you for journeying with us today on Keiser Voices, the story of success. As we close this chapter, remember every story has its next page.